The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are of those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and positions of this TV station.
Good morning, I'm Scotty Ray, and this is Bing Crosby's sister.
Yes.
She's dreaming of a white Christmas.
I am. I got my boots on today. It's that time of year.
I like the shirt, though. It's very Christmassy.
Yeah, I guess so. It's warm, I will tell you that.
Speaking of, let me turn off this heater over here. It done got kind of warm.
It's toasty up in here this morning, but we hope y'all are having a wonderful morning. And if you do go outside, you better bundle up. It is freezing cold.
Boy, we started out at 29 earlier this morning. Let's just go ahead and over here check radar to just see where we are in the Meridian areas. We pull this up. 31 now is what we've got in Meridian. A little bit colder as we go to NAS, still hovering at 29 degrees, and that freeze warning still in effect over to our east and west Alabama until 9 o'clock this morning. They got an hour before that burns off. But tonight, not as cold. Why? Rain is coming.
Yes.
90% chance of rain tonight. Anywhere from 60 to 80% for tomorrow, depending upon where you are. And that will be adjusted at some point today. So be ready for that. And then by Wednesday, it's going to be downright cold again.
Yeah. So I guess everything that gets rained on is going to freeze probably Wednesday.
Well, it'll probably suck it up by then. The streets will be good, but
let's hope. Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and tell you just matter of fact. Let's pull that up where you can take a look at the extended forecast of what we've got. This is the 7-day outlook. As we see here, 30 by Wednesday. Look at Thursday night.
Yes.
28 degrees. So
49 for the high. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. That's going to be you run somewhere and you come back in. Yeah.
My little boy was out yesterday in the yard, and every 2 seconds I was like, get in here and get something else on, get another layer on. You know, his little face was just about windburned.
So
that cool wind.
All work out?
Yeah. We went to McGee, Mississippi for a ball tournament Saturday, and we were out in it all day long, bundled up, but it was chilly.
I feel for you parents that do that.
It was cold. That's our last one, though, for a little while, till February. So.
Aren't soccer games still going on where you have to bring like...
Oh, yeah. Buddy heaters and you got several layers on. And, yeah, I've done that with my son. My older son played soccer, and my older daughter played.
Mississippi in the top 5 of places that have the worst flu this year. The top 3 states are Tennessee, Alabama, and South Carolina. Mississippi and Georgia and Texas come in next with most cases of the flu this year. And again, it's because we stayed apart from one another for so long, and then when you get back amongst each other, your immune system's not used to it, and everybody's getting sick.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are still wearing the mask, and it might be a little more helpful with the flu. I'm not sure. But,
Me either. So. I do believe in Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus. It should be a sponsor. I need that across here somewhere.
I'm the Mucinex lady. My husband said, Candace thinks Mucinex cures everything. Yeah.
I use that as backup. But that old Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus gives you that instant, you feel a little bit better within 15 minutes is the reason I use them.
Yeah.
When you got to be somewhere, grab a box of those. Kevin Costner, did you watch it last night?
I did not get a chance to watch it last night. I'm going to try to go back, I guess, and watch it. I don't know.
I'm going to give you a hint. He is governor now.
Yeah, well, I read the caption on the little thing to go back and watch. But
now, for the folks that watched it, was I just not paying attention? Did it ever address whether he's Republican or Democrat? I'm not sure that I ever saw that.
I don't know, since I wasn't watching, but was it still the same amount of language, I guess?
I didn't notice it as bad. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but I don't recall going, ooh.
Yeah, I just think that's a little unnecessary. I mean, it's a lot of unnecessary. I think it would be just as good if they can leave, all that out.
Well, I'll give you all a hint. Beth is picking a new fight. It was a 2-hour special.
I can't believe that. She's so civil. And I don't understand why.
My next question is, Casey, the other son that's the head of the, whatchamacallit?
Like the
cattle.
Law enforcement type thing. The one that sat on the hill.
Yeah.
With no clothes on or something.
When's this man ever work?
I don't know.
He goes back to work for it looked like a day to arrest somebody, and then now he's been out for another 3 weeks not doing anything.
Yeah, he sat up in the woods for how long, waiting on Something to
a
show him
wolf
something. Yeah.
or something.
I don't know. I wouldn't have been up there by myself. They wouldn't have
Yeah.
left me up there. No.
Yeah, that's not normal. Not to me. But
Yeah.
a great show. And all right, we already got that 18 spinoff?
1883. isn't
Okay,
it?
now there's going to be another one called 1921 or 1923 spinning off from that.
Oh, I thought there was a. What is it the 4-6 Ranch or something?
Yeah, there's
like
going to
that?
be one of those
Yeah.
coming. The 666 Ranch.
6. Is it 4 6s or 3?
It's 4.
Okay, good, because we don't need the 3.
I think, I say that. I believe it is.
I think it's 4 too. I
Yeah.
don't think it'd be
It's
3 because
big.
that's the.
Yes, that's the sign.
Yeah, we
But of
don't need
course,
that.
That ranch has been around forever, and the guy that is the creator of the show actually bought it. It came up for sale for the first time, and him and 2 others went in and bought it, a massive amount of land. But Kevin, as we all know, backed Liz Cheney, and he said that he still stands behind who he selected. I did not know that he had endorsed that guy, Pete.
Buttigieg.
That I can't pronounce.
I can't say his last name good.
He also got behind him. None of his candidates win, but he says he's still going to stand behind it. He's a great actor. I can't knock him for that. Me and his political beliefs might not be on the same page.
Yeah. Well.
He's a little different, but the show is wonderful. It did last year have some language we didn't like. I'm sure it'll have more, but I just don't remember. And y'all correct me if you watched it last night. Was it bad last night?
I don't know. I just think it's like a modern. If you've never seen it, it's like a modern day Dallas with
It is.
some bad.
So
words.
do you put him as JR or you put him as Jock? He don't.
I don't know.
He
He's
don't
kind
take
of a
the-
mixture.
Yeah.
He'd be kind of a mixture. He is the head of the family. Like Jock was, but.
Tony says he's got to be a Republican, but I'm not sure that they ever showed that on the screen where they were showing the guy concedes to him. I'm not sure that they ever showed that.
I don't know.
Woo, let's see. As we get into news stories that shaped our weekend, let's start here. We had a car stolen overnight in the Meridian area. Whoop, how does that happen? Well, thieves. We'll go to North Frontage Road here in this area. Right along in here is where all this went down here at a motel. Right along there on North Frontage Road. Someone borrowed it in the middle of the night. I don't think they're going to
Without
bring it
asking.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not coming back with it.
Yeah, probably not.
It will be found later at
Let's hope when they do find it, it's got all the parts to it.
There's. Do you remember the Chevrolet truck that was stolen from up at Eagle Point? That one was
maroon one? Yeah.
Now that one was okay. I think they broke the steering column, maybe $100 part. But most of the time, you're right. When people get it back, they've joyridden in it. They've damaged it to no end.
Right.
Oh my gosh!
People
Dot said
stealing the
Beth
catalytic
is Jr.
converters, huh?
Beth said.
Oh, Beth is JR. Yeah, that's about right, I guess.
But as I interrupted you, and I'm sorry. But
No.
there's catalytic.
The catalytic converters are a popular thing for them to take. But talking about the Yellowstone, that little short lady with the gray bobbed
she's
off hair.
mean.
I'm
Who is
just
she?
waiting on Beth to.
That's who the
to
fight's
take her
going to be
down.
with. But who is that woman? I've seen her somewhere.
I thought she was Sally Struthers for the longest time, but she's not. I think she has like a little accent.
But you're right. She does resemble that. And it makes you just want to send $10 to her to feed somebody.
Feed the children. Yeah. She does kind of favor her, but she's not her.
Anybody that's over 40, anytime that you think of Sally Struthers and her crying on TV to send money to her, and you always felt bad. Here,
Yeah.
take it, go away, leave me alone.
It was for the children. That was a good thing that it was for. But yeah,
There's
I don't
this-
know where she's. It's not her though. I looked that up. I can't remember the lady's name, but it's not Sally.
But they've
Struthers.
brought in almost an identical character that's just like Beth for that woman there that's going to work for her to go after Beth. So
Yeah.
be ready for some hair pulling coming up. Can Beth be beaten?
I don't know.
Archie Bunker's daughter, Sandy White.
Yeah, that's Sally Struthers, but
Yep.
yeah, that's who I thought it was, but not.
And I'm glad we don't have a meathead on there.
Yeah.
More coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace as we start this Monday. Y'all put a smile on, grab a blanket, turn the fireplace on,
That's right.
or throw a log on, whichever you got to do.
Get you a cup of coffee.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Idaho potatoes, an 8-pound bag, $4.99. California navel oranges, a 4-pound bag, $4.99. Red, white, yellow, and sweet onions, 99 cents a pound. Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 2 for $11.
Assorted pork chops, $1.59 a pound. And certified Angus beef T-bone steaks family pack, $8.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Have you heard? Jackson Flowers has moved to their new location on Highway 19 North. They have been a part of the community for over 60 years here in the Meridian area, and they are continuing the same great service that you've known for decades to their new location. They offer floral arrangements, live and artificial, a gift shop, fall and Christmas decor, along with birthday treats for the pups. Visit Jackson Flowers in their new location 2 miles north of Walmart on Highway 19 North. Jackson Flowers, for all occasions.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Monday morning it is as we begin our week together, and we do hope you have some chili in your forecast somewhere this week. I have not had a great bowl yet.
Yeah, I hadn't made any chili since it's been cooler.
Now, I was all off in some soup last week that was incredible.
I love soup. My husband is not a big soup
We
eater.
got to work on him.
I know. He said he doesn't have enough meat in it, like soups. I put a lot of stuff
Meat?
in all my soups. Yeah.
You just can't. I had, what was it? I don't know, Angie cooked something. I can't even tell you what it was last night, but it had sausage mixed in with it, and it was good. I didn't complain.
I tell you what, one of my favorites is gumbo. I love a good bowl of gumbo.
Now, let me just be honest about that. The smell of gumbo makes me want to leave the house.
Oh, I love it. And, Weidman's has a really good bowl of gumbo.
What about, is it cabbage that makes the house smell like?
Yeah. Cabbage or turnip greens. Yeah. Those will make an aroma that you don't want to.
That along with chitlins.
Get out of the air.
I just can't eat things that smell.
Yeah. My mother always cooked stuff like that outside, like the cabbage or the turnip greens or collards.
Go to a neighbor's
outside.
house if you're doing some chitlins. That's all I can tell you.
I don't do that.
Ever thought of, hey, it's a great idea to eat this? I don't know who you were and why you started this awful fad.
The greens are really good, but no, I'm not eating chitlins. People love them. Some of them do. It ain't for me.
Me either. Tony says she's going to watch as soon as our show is over. She's going back to watch the Duttons as they expand.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll probably be on my schedule to watch this evening, maybe. I don't know.
So Jim said that the lady is from Australia that we were talking about, that white-headed lady.
Yeah, and Beth is not American, I don't think. She's from somewhere else, too. Like, I say she's not American. She might live in America. I mean, but
she was a citizen somewhere else to begin
She has
with.
an accent.
It's kind of like that guy
You see
that's
an interview with
the
her.
lead character of The Walking Dead. You think he's from Georgia until you hear him talk, and you're like, buddy, where'd you come from? Well, as the cold weather sets in, the criminals, as we talked to Chris Reed last week, crime is going to increase, and that's what's going on. There's crime everywhere. Now we go to downtown Meridian of a break-in that happened in the early morning hours of Sunday morning. 3 a.m. is when it happened. And this is Dr. Nelson's place, Revive Wellness, a great store.
Yeah.
They would kick in the door around 3 a.m. and go in and rummage through everything that was there. Now, no one was hurt. And again, this was in the early morning hours.
Right.
3 a.m., nobody was there.
Middle of the night. Yeah.
But it still doesn't stop the criminals, and every burglary that we've had has had the same MO. They start around 2 a.m., 2 to 2:15. Even the Newport 100 bandits, power bandits, they do it around 2 a.m. And it lasts until right at daybreak, and then they run.
Right.
We had a string of this as we look at this of what happened there. And again, right across from the Riley Center, if you're wondering where that location of the store is, and I don't know if I put that up or not, but that's what the front of the store looks like. And again, it sits directly across from the Riley Center. So crime is everywhere. Now, as we go back to look at all of this, if you'll remember, what was it, Friday? We had all the break-ins Thursday night. I was trying to find the story, but I can remember all that. That cell phone store there that happened early Friday morning in College Park. We had Chino's there at San Marcos Mexican Restaurant. Burger King and also Tractor Supply were hit, all within 2 hours of each other.
And people feel like their hands are tied because
Yes.
the police force is there's a shortage of police officers right now. But I mean, you might ask, what can you do? I think the best thing to do is maybe put up some cameras,
Right.
have an alarm on your business if something like that happens. And I mean, a lot of people will let cameras be known where they are. I don't think that's smart. I just think it should be a hidden camera somewhere, and hopefully that will help catch whoever it is. I'm not saying it will deter them, but an alarm would.
Right.
So-
And what do you do about it? Well, and I was asked that this weekend. Contact authorities. You can start by calling our mayor. Here's Jimmy Smith. You can reach him at his office at 485-1926. Does it concern you that we've got so much crime? Does me. There's another person that you can contact, and that would be your police chief. This is her, Miss Deborah Young. 485-1842 to the desk there at the Meridian Police Department. And then the council person that is of your district. And
Right.
we've got 5 of them in the Meridian area. It's just so many of our lives revolve around what happens in the Meridian area and throughout the county that it all intertwines.
But I feel for business owners, I do, and people who try to live peaceful lives in their home. I mean, but the business owners, even if they don't steal anything, they've damaged their property by breaking in a door or breaking in a window or something.
It costs to replace all of that, and you got to make ends meet.
Yeah.
There's another business, and I'm not calling it. He's been cleaned out 2 to 3 times. All of his tools. You can't keep replacing them. He's at the end of I can't afford to keep going.
Right. And it's safe during the day to shop and stuff like that. It happens mainly in the middle of the night, like we said. So
These burglaries, that's how it's happening. We go to Lauderdale, Mississippi. Anybody from Lauderdale? No, 11 miles due north of here is where this went down over the weekend. And as I talked with Ward, our chief deputy, over the weekend, he's pretty sure, as the investigation goes, that as the initial report came out on this, that it possibly could be self-inflicted. One person was shot overnight in Lauderdale there in the 9700 block of Old Highway 45 North. As he puts it there, that a 20-year-old possibly, they're not 100% sure yet, but is leaning toward that, could have shot themselves at a nightclub. Why? We don't know. We do hope we get some more answers on that today. They're really working hard to solve that case.
Yeah.
Again, that's right down from the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. Now, we would have someone else shot in Meridian over the weekend. And this is what's interesting. You know where the 29th Avenue Bridge is?
Yes.
They would find that person there. We're not sure how many hours they had been laying there, but they had more or less walked, crawled, and then were found there. It happened at another location, and they would be found there by somebody passing by goes, what's that guy doing on the side of the road?
Right.
They contacted the police department. They arrived. An ambulance was sent. Now, it's not a fatal injury, but they were still shot in the leg.
Yeah.
How many of us want to be shot in the leg?
Well, I mean, that can be fatal. You
Yeah.
have a main artery that runs down your leg. I mean, it's a scary thing.
And I'd have to have a cane for the rest of my life. It's not good. We don't know what caused it. Was it a targeted? We suspect that. Do we know that? No. Thank goodness they're going to make it. We investigate any tip that we get that you send in. You can ask Ward. I call him over and over.
Yeah.
Any truth to this? And he'll get back with me as always, as well as the Meridian Police Department as we dig into everything that is put out there. Now, we had some shots also reported. This is the first time. There's been a lot of fights up in that area, but I've never gotten a report of a gunshot in that area. Well, that all changed in the late hours of Saturday night as we look at this. Roebuck Drive, do you know where that is? If you're going out of town, you leave the Meridian Police Department, you go under I-20, and you go up the hill like you're going to go on to Equipment toward the Evangel Temple.
Yes.
That area
Yes.
right there were gunshots reported there. Now, what it was a SUV. It was at least 2 to 3 people in it arguing amongst each other. And a gunshot would happen, nobody was hit, and they hauled britches as soon as they done it and went toward the police station. They were never found, but it did happen. Just so that you know, and this was not during your regular hours. This was way on late into the nighttime hours that did happen. But, I can't imagine pumping gas or being somewhere near like that and something goes off like
You
that.
hear that. Yeah, that would be scary. For
Did I
sure.
ever tell you about the time that I was in Jackson, Mississippi? I had never been to a do you call those hibachi places?
Yeah, where they cook right in front of you.
Yeah. Never in my little redneck life, being from Kemper County, had I ever been to a place like that. I've got Debbie sitting here. I've got an attorney sitting to my left. We're all sitting there talking. And he fired up that grill.
Did you feel the heat like come up?
No, I did
I thought
not.
it was going to singe my hair.
You know why I did not? Because I was laying in the floor.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
thought somebody had fired a gun because it went boom. And I thought somebody had been, and I hit the floor. Now, most people would think that was embarrassing. Not to me. I thought I'm still alive.
You know,
And I got back. I don't want to eat nowhere where they do that. I'm just going, I ain't doing it.
I always back up when I see them fixing, about to do that. I always just back up just a little bit because, I do have all this hairspray on my hair. I don't want to be the ball of fire sitting there.
I can't eat at places that do that. I'm sorry. Y'all may love it, but it ain't for me.
I think it's entertaining, though. They usually throw that egg up and catch it in their hat.
Well, you ain't going to talk back to them because they got this big knife.
I know.
I don't like my person that's giving me a food with a knife in front of me either because you never know when they might get mad at you. You say it tastes bad, they're coming after you.
Look, how many people's got the black stone grills, and they try,
yeah.
they go home and try to do all that on the grill.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of people are great and wonderful at it, but not I. A man has got to know his limitations in life, and I can't cook. Boy, I stick with hamburgers and steak, stuff that I know what it is. Yeah. We did have a report of a juvenile that was injured over the weekend also in the county as we go just north of West Lauderdale Elementary School. As we pull this up, a fight, let me hit this button here where you can see this. This is also a story that you can read about. 2 children, juveniles, got into an argument, a fight, and then someone was stabbed. Pretty major wound to the leg. They were transported to the hospital. They were released, and Ward tells us that this will end up in the Lauderdale County Youth Court. The Sheriff's Department will back out of that. This is dealing with youth and be handled there. I do think they could have been kin to each other. I'm not 100% sure, but glad it was no worse than that.
Right, definitely.
I hate that a fight even broke out. Let's talk about the next thing that went on in Meridian. Did you see this picture that I posted?
I didn't.
Here's the Meridian Police Department hard at work. Let me show you this picture. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's at Velma Young Center, which is just off of, if you're going toward leaving the hospitals and you go on up before you get to Magnolia Cemetery, it's on the right there. Okay. The Velma Young Center. Very, very nice place. Apparently there was an event there this weekend. And as we just mentioned, juveniles got into a fight. Police were dispersed. As they arrived, a gunshot would ring out from one of the juveniles. And then it was like this. As many police officers that could arrive ran. They did have 6 juveniles detained. I don't know what happened to them after the detaining of what become of that. But a gunshot was fired. No one was hurt. But that's scary.
I don't know why people that can't have the
Get
sense
togethers.
enough to act right don't just stay at the house. I mean, why are you gonna ruin it for everybody?
Now, here's what I was told, and this is all hearsay here, that this was big talk throughout the community that there was a disagreement that was going to happen there. And they said, well, why didn't people, if I heard it, everybody about it, why were more measures put into place? I don't know the answer to that. But we do know the actual facts of what happened. A gunshot did happen. 6 teenagers were detained. We'll wait to hopefully find out a little bit more about that. But at the end of the day, thank goodness no one was hurt.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Jessica Davis saying that her daughter is in labor, getting ready to have a baby, going to do some birthing today.
Oh, Elizabeth Nelson.
See, that's another thing that I don't know anything about. I will call someone for you.
Yeah.
Not going there. We had an
But
accident.
congratulations. That's exciting.
Yes, yes. We not sure. Do you know if you're having a baby girl or a baby boy, or is it all a big
Or a
surprise?
surprise. I wish I could have had a surprise. Like, I couldn't wait, though. I always had to know. So,
Really?
I always had to know.
We knew the first time that when Angie first went for her first one, they tried to tell us that it was a girl, and I said, no, it's not. And she said, yes, it is. I said, no, it's not. Who was right? I was right. Dylan Ray came along.
Yeah.
As we look at this, we had an accident north of Martin. One single car accident there. As we look at this, sheriff's deputies would arrive to take a look at that on Martin Moore Road. I reported one wreck this weekend in the the southeast area, and it ended up being my nephew. He was okay. I think it totaled his truck out. You remember when it had that little rain early Saturday morning?
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I guess I just had not been looking.
Oh, you better be looking at my weather
Well,
forecast.
I know, but I mean, I didn't expect rain Saturday morning. I knew it was going to get cool.
It did.
Yeah, it did get cool. But we had a good bit of rain up at our home.
He's okay.
I'm glad he is okay, though.
We had a fire, too. Did you see this picture? My heavens, look at the color of this picture. This was over on 16th Avenue. Y'all remember that Lacey J. Dalton song, don't you? 16th Avenue. It happened right here in Meridian. Look at this fire that broke out in a home. Now, everyone was able to get out. No one was hurt. But bless them. Whether the house burned completely down or not, they have major damage and smoke damage to every single thing they own.
That is some thick smoke. Yeah, that is.
It was.
I'm glad everybody got out, though. Okay.
Another thing that, as we see, as you mentioned, it being cold weather, you're going to see more of this. Meridian Fire Department was extremely busy in the area with homeless that start fires to, well, try to keep warm. You can't blame anybody trying to keep warm, but the Meridian Fire Department has to put those out so they won't expand and cause hazard to the communities.
Right.
I just want you to be aware of that, of what's going on. They had to put out one, right down from the police station where Cloverleaf is.
Yes.
They were down underneath that bridge there with a big fire. That had to be extinguished, and it's a tough job, is all I can say about that. Let's see, we also had an accident on I-20 early Saturday morning, right after that southeast wreck. Over, you know where the Royal Inn is? Where the bakery is, and if you're coming towards 22nd Avenue, right there, it hit the guardrail and jumped onto the South Frontage Road.
Goodness.
Pretty serious, but no one was hurt.
To jump over the...
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So if you came along and wondered what the commotion was all about, that's what happened. Oh, boy. Now, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about all the events that you and I got to go to this past Friday.
That's right. It was very nice to go down there for the Veterans Day service. I can't get my words out this morning.
You're thinking
it was a whole lot of people there, and it was very nice. I got to meet a lot of people, so that was good.
Yeah. We'll show you some pictures of that, and we've got some more to talk about what happened on this day. We'll show some of these pictures here in just a little while. Everybody got a smile? If you hadn't, go get a cup of coffee. It's like a game changer.
I know. And then you get to come back and see Scotty Ray's smiling face.
We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Candace, as we start this is Monday, y'all.
It is all day long.
If you're looking for a deal, go to Facebook and type in East Mississippi Online Marketplace. Scroll through all of the pictures that are there and pick the item that you want to bid on. Bids end on Wednesday night and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And the winning bid can pick up the product the next day. Again, it's easy to do. Go to Facebook, type in East Mississippi Online Marketplace, and find the items that you want to bid on and save a bunch of money. That's 2 different auctions, Wednesday and Sunday night. Both sales end at 8 p.m.
When you gear up and journey out, with nothing but you and the wilderness for miles, just remember, you're the boss. Steel MS-271 Farm Boss, built for the toughest jobs. Journey onward.
The Neshoba County Co-op is your one-stop shop for all your camouflage and clothing needs. To stylish flannel shirts and those warm Carhartt jackets. Maybe it's a new set of pants you need or bib overalls. A large selection of t-shirts and the latest fashions and colors when it comes to scrubs. A big selection of kids' clothing and Carhartt with jackets and more. With John Deere toys and a whole lot more. If it's on Santa's list, it can be found at the Neshoba County Co-op, 338 West Main Street, Philadelphia. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. I just got a note that said John Dutton in season 4, they did refer to him as a Republican. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he seemed like he had conservative type values. With,
but they ain't taking his ranch. He don't care.
No.
Driver, you didn't hear nothing. That's what he said. I heard it. Let's see here. Let's go back and look at a few things that happened on this day. This was a big show during the day. Hot Lips Houlihan. Anybody remember her?
I do.
For the time, she was a very, very attractive woman that may have worn, at that point in time, a little bit too tight of shirts for America. That they go, whoa, what's that woman doing
Yeah, I
up on my
think they could have
TV?
got her a little bit bigger size.
But if we remember this guy, McLean Stevenson, he was the original Colonel Blake, if you'll remember him, before Colonel Potter showed up. He was born on this date back in 27. Do y'all realize
1927.
Can you play us but almost 100?
No, I cannot believe that. That's just
95.
crazy to me.
Yeah, people that we grew up with.
Oh my goodness! You know when they tell you when you're little that time flies, one day you just gonna wake up and be, older.
Look,
It's
I walked
just
through the
like-
kitchen, and Angie had on one of them Hallmark deals, and lo and behold, there was Alice. You remember her from Mel's Diner?
Oh yeah.
And I said, she may have aged just a wee bit.
Oh yeah. I have not
Just a wee
seen
bit.
her. I wonder how
That
old
was,
she would be.
She's got to be up there, because she was like 50, wasn't she, back
I
then?
don't know. Flo, remember Flo?
I remember old Flo.
Kiss my grit.
1951, and there are so few pieces of this out there that exist, but it would be the first time that this old fellow would make it to television. I only know of maybe 2 to 3 times that he was ever there. But in 1951, Hank Williams strolled upon television for the very first time on the Perry Como Show, and he would perform Hey Good Lookin'. The following week, Perry Como would open up the show with another version of Hank's song, and it made people angry, and he ended up having to apologize to Hank for doing that.
Yeah.
But the neat thing about Hank was he did like others to record his song. He saw, because he was a songwriter, and he enjoyed others re-recording his songs.
I often wondered how people felt about that.
He
Other people
enjoyed
singing
it.
the songs and stuff. Because I have heard people butcher a song.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking, why? And they'll do it in tribute to the person who did it.
Yeah,
and
and
the
they just
person
can't do
sitting
it.
there watching them sing it. And I'm thinking, what is going through their head?
See, I'm so lonesome I could cry. Probably one of the most recorded that he did. B.J. Thomas did it. I remember that. And there's just no telling how many people have recorded I Saw the Light. If you've ever been in church and you're going, I didn't know Hank Williams wrote that. He did. I Saw the Light. 1960, what was the number one song? You can't help but sing along when you hear this.
Georgia.
Georgia. And Candace can hit the notes.
Yeah.
Ray Charles was at number 1 on the charts with that song, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love that song.
Yeah. That is a pretty song.
He,
I've always liked that.
He had such a talent that has never been matched ever since. Really liked him. 1966, this would be the number 1 song across America, and I almost could see Candace writing this in another life. You ain't woman enough to take my man.
That's right. You ain't.
Loretta Lynn.
Goodness.
Some hair
Yeah.
and the thing about this song for that day and time, she was willing, although he may have been flirting with that woman, she was willing to fight to keep him. Nowadays, it's, well, you can have him if you want him.
Yeah.
If he looked at her, it's gone. You don't work anything out. It's Tammy Wynette's
That's it.
divorce.
It's done. It's done.
Speaking of, have you seen all these previews of the George and Tammy show that's coming to Netflix?
No.
They're going to do a whole show about her and George.
No, I have not.
So y'all be ready.
It's kind of,
Will it be
since they're
good?
both gone now.
Yeah.
I guess the children must have consented to
Georgette.
that.
Georgette.
Is that his daughter's name?
Yeah.
Georgette.
Think about how that happened. They wanted a boy real bad. 1970, a plane crash that would shock America and shake it. There would be movies made of this, and I think it was, what is it, We Are Marshall? As the university football team, almost everyone, well, they all died on that. And they had citizens from the town. They had dignitaries that had flown on that plane. It went down. Everybody lost their life on that. There was
my
very few
goodness, that
players
is
that weren't on the
awful.
plane.
Yeah. That would be horrible.
It is. It gives me goosebumps to even think about that. I did not realize this had happened for some reason. Anybody remember a song that used to be on the radio called Lord Have Mercy, Baby's Got Her Blue Jeans On?
Yeah. I
Down by
remember
the
that.
corner, by the
By the
traffic
traffic light, everybody's looking.
Yeah, because she comes by. You couldn't help but notice them jeans. But 1996, Mel McDaniel, the guy that wrote that, fell off of the stage, and he would never be able to tour again. He was in Lafayette.
Oh my goodness!
I
Fell
had
into
no
the
clue.
orchestra pit. Is that right?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious! He must have just been walking up, not watching where he was.
Yeah.
That would be awful.
I also had that song, Stand Up, Tell Us All About It.
Oh yeah.
And they hired some actors for that that video. It was a great one. But I always liked Mel McDaniel.
I never knew that, though, that he had fallen.
He had so many more hits, and I'll think of some more here in a moment. Have you ever wanted to own, maybe you liked somebody, would you ever bid at an auction to win a piece of, do you call it memorabilia of a star? Would you ever bid on anything?
Probably. I mean, not at these big money auctions, I wouldn't.
Something-
a little bit of money, I might. But
I want one of these, and I'm willing to pay a little bit because I want it, because it means I want Jimmy Stewart's autograph. I want that. I want to frame that and put it on the wall. I just think he's such an excellent guy. But in 15, Elvis's boots went up for auction. And do you remember the 68 comeback? It was that special part where he done that in the white suit and sang those white boots. They sold an auction back in 15 for $44,000.
goodness. Now, would you pay that much? for a pair of
Absolutely not.
boots? I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't pay that much.
My thing is, like, how do you 100% know that was the boots?
It
Like,
has to-
how do you 100% know that would be Jimmy Stewart's
Well, if you
autograph?
watch Pawn Stars, you would know it has to have a letter of authenticity. Because he
okay.
ain't paying big money unless you got it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I could sit there and put Jimmy Stewart.
Scott McQuagan. I told Scott. Scott has a knife that was Hank Williams' knife that was given to him by Marty Stewart. And I said, you better get Marty Stewart to give you a letter
Right.
stating that is what it is, because 2 generations from now, you'd never prove it.
Right.
So, Scott, if you're listening, call Marty and get him to sign a piece of paper. 2016, we would lose this young lady. She had a song that was big. It was the biggest of her career. Remember Daddy's Hands?
Yes.
I think so many people related to that because of their dad. You know, dads don't typically tell you that he loves you. He's a little bit shy away from that. But his hands, you always know. Holly Dunn passed away on this date back in 16 due to ovarian cancer, I believe is what got her.
I did not realize she had passed away.
She did. You Really Had Me Going was another one song. We've lost so many people to cancer.
Yes.
It's just
It's an awful
heartbreaking.
thing.
Let's see what else. Oh, back in 16. It's hard to believe that this was that few years ago that this started, because he's become such a household name now.
Yeah.
And he does question people. Even occasionally lets his guests answer a question that he asks them. I'm talking about Tucker.
I like Tucker. I never can say his name. I don't know why.
Tucker
Like, it
Carlson?
runs together with Tucker Carlson. But I like him. But every now and then, if you notice, he just lets this laugh out that
He
doesn't
does.
fit in that. And you're going, are you a mad person or what's wrong?
And, you know, I like Sean Hannity, but Sean Hannity will never let a guest answer. He'll invite him
Yeah.
on the show, and they go, Sean. And then he goes, and they never get to answer
He's
anything.
kind of like Joe Pags. I don't know if you listen to Joe
Yeah,
Pags
he
on
does
the
it
radio.
too.
I like to listen to Joe Pags, but he is bad about cutting you off and not letting you say
Okay,
your
let's try to fix your problem here with Tucker Carlson. Think of WKRP in Cincinnati, and if you'll remember, the general manager and the owner of the station was Mr. Carlson.
Yeah.
Do it that way, see if that will work.
Okay. Okay.
Do you do that where you have to think of things to remember?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I don't know. My mind, though, lately is not. Every now and then, I just can't.
I wouldn't even go in there. I ain't
Think.
touching that. I'm going to just let you just go on out there on that limb by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Scotty Ray.
Everybody
Appreciate
knew
that.
this woman and said that she was mean. I have never talked to anybody that said
Miss
she was a
Olsen.
sweetheart. But she
Yeah.
passed away on this date back in 18 here.
Mm-hmm.
The lady that played Mrs. Olsen, and her real name was Catherine Scotty McGregor. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. But on the show now, I think she was bipolar back then. Did they have that back then? I don't know.
She, poor Nails. Have you ever really felt sorry for a guy? I did for Nails.
Yeah.
His life was miserable.
Like 1 minute, though, she was sweet.
Right.
She could be nice. And then the next minute, she was like,
And I
Fighting
think
your head
this
off,
may have been written for Nels Olsen. I played it for Candace just the other day. I call it the Married Man song. We used to play it on the radio. Vince Gill, it's hard to kiss the lips at night that chew your blank all day long.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was funny.
Yeah, that would be perfect for Nels
That would
Olsen.
be. That would be perfect.
Because she did stay on him. Well, that's a few things that happened today in history. Maybe a few of these you remember. Maybe you don't. But hey, it brings a smile to think back on things that went on to a better time sometimes.
I miss those days when it wasn't as crime ridden and
Yeah.
crazy. you know.
You know, Charles and the gang on Little House on the Prairie would have went and got the bad guy. Handled it right then.
That's right.
Scotty Ray and Candace will show you some pictures of our parade and our ceremony that we had in Meridian. That's all coming up next here. Scotty Ray and Candace.
On this field, as on the gridiron, each inch is fought for and marked by sweat. Each inch taken through disciplined training. With a Kubota L2501 tackling each inch in the trenches, whether those inches are measured here or here, all adding up to yards. For each yard, Kubota measures victory, and the touchdown is Parrish Tractor. Here, we're much more than a tractor store.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we begin this gorgeous day. Let's talk about our friends over at Snowden. They're busy this morning. They're getting houses all spruced up, getting ready to show you, adding some new homes to the website at snowdenrealestate.com. Dakota and Heather done that, and they closed on their home, got them a new one, and like so many other people have done. It's a lot of people that use them, from big houses to smaller homes that fits well the size of your family. They can find one for your budget as well. If you're looking for, I got this amount of money and I want to live here, they'll find that home for you.
Right. They're very good to work with. Get back with you in a timely manner. They do.
Nice. And look at that, just in time for Thanksgiving. And Mike could get it done. See them today. You can go to Enterprise anywhere, even over toward Jackson, Forest area. They'll help you there. New listings at Ross Collins all the time. They'll be there through 5 o'clock today. Appointment only on Saturday and closed on Sunday. Drop by and visit with them. They'll tell you more about it. A designated seller representative, real estate negotiating expert, and here's her team. They're all there to help you if you're looking for a home. Snowden and Company. Visit with them right there in North Hills area today. Well, it is already starting to warm up to 30.
The big 30.
Yeah. What did I see? Denise starting a business there? She's going to go track down crime people?
Yeah, criminals. She said that she's going to be starting a business this week called To Catch a Thief. She'll be working with the businesses in Meridian.
You go, girl. They would appreciate that.
It's a great thing.
Well, as we said, the big ceremony that took place right in front of City Hall. This is what went on as we go to look at some of these pictures. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is. It was a lot of people there. It really was. Because it was a lot of people over to the side, too.
Yeah. Right there at the Domoy Monument. And again, there's City Hall after all those renovations there. A lot of our veterans were there. Thank goodness for that. So many people turned out in support of them. As we look at this, the flag there, I think the fire truck broke down afterwards, and it's still sitting there this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whoops.
But when they played taps, that just, to
touching.
me, it always touches my heart.
Yeah. But the kids were there. They sang there. And even Candace showed up. Look at there.
That's a weird picture with my hands.
You had your Elvis shirt on.
The sleeves.
The wings.
Yeah.
That was one of the things.
It was very nice. I was honored to be there, though. I mean, I was glad to get to see that.
Now, and we have to always be honest about this, and I don't know why there's not huge turnouts for parades for veterans. It's just the weaker of some of the ones we have. But those that came, I do thank y'all for coming out. It was at 3 o'clock that afternoon. As we pull it up, here it is, Veterans Day Parade there. We had a bunch of bands and ROTC members come down through there. What a beautiful car if you've never got to see that.
That is
It
pretty.
was an official pace car back in the day. As we'll look at this, Northeast Trojan Band came up, and it just goes on and on with the list of people that showed up and showed their support for our veterans in Meridian. We appreciate y'all. A ton of people there.
The veterans, they need to be respected and acknowledged 365 days a year, not just one day a year.
I agree with that. Well, as we look around, let's see here. I said this in jest this morning. I'm glad that they got an officer. But I was looking over at Yazoo, Mississippi, where we're here struggling just to get a police officer to patrol the streets. They're going to allot some money to go ahead and hire a officer to monitor dumpsters because people are throwing away tires and stuff in there they shouldn't be. That's going to be his sole job.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hook somebody up and that's all they do here.
Yeah. We need all the officers on the street.
All hands on deck. Oh, boy, we look over to Raymond, which is just west of Jackson. Did you see that where the guy was shot in his car at a basketball game?
I did not see that.
Well, that's about a 21-year-old man shot in his car. I think he's going to make it, but he's still shot. I'm just letting y'all know what goes on in other parts of the state. And this one, I kind of stumbled around this morning as to it's no way to really say it without just saying it. Carroll County, Mississippi. A man's been arrested for having whoopee with an animal. 59 years old. No connection to farmersonly.com. I want to put that out there.
They had
There's
his
none.
name up there, but I don't know.
He's been arrested for that. We'll leave that alone. Did you see this about the horrible accident that happened in Dallas?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes, they had an air show.
Yeah.
Yes, that was awful.
And what they're saying now is what they believe is there's a blind spot in that cockpit as it went sideways as it ran right into the other plane. At least 6 people have been killed.
Goodness. That's awful. And all those people were out there watching. It was
Now, I don't think they've ever released 100% for sure if anyone got injured on the ground.
Yeah.
That would be tough to figure out, I guess.
It was awful though. But wasn't it like old planes that they were showing?
Veterans
and
Day
stuff?
air
Yeah.
show. And if you watch the video, it's horrifying, awful.
Goodness.
This could happen to anybody. Say you're in your home and you hear someone trying to break in your home. Well, your heart's going to go to racing as you call the police, try to get them to come.
Yeah.
South Carolina, a lady died. She had a heart attack as someone was trying to break into her home. She didn't make it.
That's scary.
The anxiety.
Yeah. You know, I had to wear that little heart monitor
How'd
thing
that work
all
out?
weekend. I got to turn it back in today, so I don't know.
You'll find out what they're going
I
to.
said I felt kind of like though, you know, I could tell that it would get, my heart was skipping beats, so, but I could tell it would do it more when I would get worked up about something, you know. I said I felt like Jackie Gleason on Smokey and the Bandit, where his little thing would go. That's how I felt like my heart was doing that every time
But
I
they've
get
changed
tense.
that thing to where you don't have to wear all those wires now,
Right.
don't they?
It was just this little box that stuck right there on my chest, and no wires. You could bathe or shower or whatever with it on and get it wet, and it didn't
Ooh,
matter.
we're glad you took one.
I try to do that daily. You know, that's a good thing.
Jerome Lee sent me a message and said that when he lived in Orlando that the Veterans Day parade there was huge. I truly wish we could turn Meridians into a huge, huge event.
Yes.
Maybe we need to work on that for next year. Did y'all see where Dolly's getting all this money? The guy that owns Amazon. You know that little library program that she's doing trying to help kids? He is
Imaginary
donating.
Library.
Yeah. $100 million he's given her.
Imagination Library, not imaginary.
The same thing. We all know
No,
what you mean.
imagination and imaginary.
Same
Those two
thing.
things.
You have
But-
imaginary friends over there?
No, I don't.
Okay, making sure.
No. But it's a wonderful thing. We had books sent to the kids. When you have a child at the hospital, you sign up for it. And you get a book every month for free. And it's a wonderful thing until they're like 6 years old, I think.
Now, I'm not sure if Dolly's still doing it, but on her Facebook page there for a long time, she would read a book each night. I always like to go to bed with Dolly reading to me. I have to go back and see if she's still doing that. But this is how sweet of her. And that's a really good gesture of Amazon doing that.
That is.
Lord knows he can
Wonderful
afford
thing.
it. He is like the man when it comes to all of this. Chaos in Florida. Everybody thought they had seen a UFO. Yeah. And trust me, 90% of UFOs are things that people just don't know exist that the United States has. It was a plane that was landing from, been in outer space, circling for 6 years that nobody knew about, and it landed at an airstrip, and they all thought, whoa, what's going on?
So they didn't have any idea that it was going to be landing. It just landed. Surely the people at the...
top secret mission. Then here it comes out the clouds. So
That would
if
be
you saw
freaky.
something weird in Florida, it wasn't a UFO. You'll be shocked. I'm sure that really and truly all these things that are seen are just things that they just don't know about.
I don't know.
And they're telling the truth because it is an unidentified flying object. It just may not be from outer space.
I would like to go back to the museum over in Roswell again that we went to that time. That was really neat.
Let me know how that is.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of documentation that they have and factual type stuff that's happened, and I mean, it really
It's
is.
like
And then
this-
they have a wall of like just people who are trying to
Let's back up on
sham
this.
people.
Let's see if Candace Foster's. This is one of the most documented, and it happened in the state of Mississippi on the coast. Do you know the story I'm going to
Are
tell
you
you?
talking about the 2 men?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard like past interviews because I don't know if they're still alive.
I think maybe they now have passed.
Yeah, I've heard the interviews. I want to say I was listening to one of the Rick and Bubba or something one morning, and they had one of the guys.
My theory on this is you've been drinking.
They were fishing.
Yeah, you've been drinking, and you end up on the side of the road naked. You lost your clothes, and here come the police, and you go, "What am I going to do? I don't want to go to jail." I was abducted by an alien. That's what happened.
But
They
you know-
sucked me up.
But
I would tell
they
it.
pulled them apart supposedly and questioned both of them, and they had the same story.
That's because you rehearsed it for the police to get there.
I mean, how good can you be if you drinking though, like in rehearsing stuff? But
I
they
can't-
claimed they were abducted, and then he went into telling what all they did and stuff.
He was. I don't know what aliens. Dude, I'm going to leave it at
I don't
that.
know. Anything's possible though.
Scotty Ray and Candace, as we start this day, little green drunk men.
Yeah.
Oh, they picked them too. I mean, seriously, if they were going to abduct somebody, wouldn't they get somebody like Albert Einstein or maybe the president?
The president.
They get two
Maybe
old
he's
boys
already
in
been
Mississippi fishing.
abducted.
I mean, come on. We got more on the way. Scotty Ray and Candace, as we all start our Monday morning together.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Time to stop spending your entire weekend mowing grass. Step up to a Skag zero-turn lawnmower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Well, we talk about our friends at Godwin. They're busy today, even though it's cold. They're firing up things, warming up, getting ready to clean some things for Thanksgiving. If you need it done, talk to them today. Soft washing, low pressure. They'll clean your home or your business, whichever it is. If you've got a lot of friends and family coming over, make sure it looks its best. From your siding to your roofs, well, to getting your sidewalk and your driveways looking good again. Mm-hmm. Do all of that, including your roofs and windows cleaned and, well, those back decks that become slick when you get that little bit of mildew.
Yeah, it gets slimy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your steps, we don't want anybody falling as they come in. Let them take care of this for you. Do it no time flat there. Godwin Cleaning Services, they're located here in Meridian, 253-8262. Don't forget that 601 number. They'll help you get it all cleaned, and you'll be back on your merry way there of getting things done.
That's right.
I briefly mentioned this, but boy, they're all turning on Trump at this point. Yeah. Everybody that ever disliked him now is going, yeah, it's okay to dislike him, say it publicly. I ain't scared of him now. Mm-hmm. His announcement comes tomorrow, which we do expect him to say he's going to run. Are you saying he's not? Are you sticking with it?
I don't know what.
She got $5 up on this.
Yeah,
it's a bet.
I think it's possible that he might say he's not and say he's going to do something else. I don't know.
$5.
I'm not
Y'all
sure.
mark it down. Candace's going to lose $5 tomorrow.
I'm not.
But we even now have Mike Pence coming out saying he doesn't like the president.
Yeah, he's going to be on tonight.
Yeah.
Like, who was it? Sean Hannity, I think, is going to have him on tonight. But, yeah, it says Candace Owens is even turned against him.
I wouldn't have thought she would have.
Yeah. But it said he's been attacking Ron DeSantis.
He has.
See,
He shouldn't have done that.
That's a crazy move right there. That's crazy.
Yes, dividing among your camp.
Yeah, I just think that is that's really
And that's going to hurt him.
bad move.
No matter how you slice it, that's going to hurt him. And I do probably, even though he's going to run, see everybody getting behind Ron DeSantis now.
Yeah.
And it may not have happened if he hadn't have jumped on Ron. But
I just think I don't know. I just think the mudslinging stuff, especially when you're within the same party, I just think that's crazy.
yeah, it should have been backed away from. Let me ask this. Are there certain roles in the movies that, well, it needs to be a certain person plays it? Like, let's see, Harrison Ford in all of his Raiders of the Lost Ark. Can the main character be a woman? Can they switch that?
I guess they could.
I'm
not saying
filming
it's not possible.
one
but
right now, and he's 80, and they're saying that they're going to turn this over to a lady next after this. Can she fill those boots, or does it need to be another guy that takes over this?
I don't know. I mean, I think they can. It might not sit well with a lot of people, though. That
Now, you Cagney and Lacey fans are going to eat this up.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know y'all going to love it.
I mean, a lot of times I don't like when they mess with stuff. And I understand somebody gets older and they have to be, somebody younger maybe has to take that role. But I think they should keep a man in there.
Yeah, you remember he had one of those that had
actors.
It had his son in one of those. Supposedly the son, you would think that it would be passed on, but
right. Unless it's going to be his daughter or something.
I don't know who this woman is that they're referring to. I had to do some research for it.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I've never heard of her.
Me neither. They ain't got no clue who she is or what she does.
Right.
Well, that's a few of the headlines across America today. As we move into a new one, Thanksgiving. Golly.
Right around the corner.
Candace going to be taking off Thanksgiving. She's going to be eating so much turkey that her hands going to be slick and she can't come in.
I am going to be off. Yeah. Get to see my stepson. So.
That's good. Yeah. We'll be here, but boy, that's a little over a week now. It's not this Thursday, but the following Thursday.
That's right. Kids get out of school this Friday, though, and
they'll be out.
Yeah, they'll be out. I guess they'll be out the whole week.
So plan it. There's going to be a lot more kids playing. Keep that in mind in yards, and as you're going around, drive a little bit slower next week.
Yeah, I've been wanting to decorate for Christmas before we leave, so when I come home, it's done. And Kurt's like, No,
you don't want it done?
He don't like that before Thanksgiving decorating. I'm all for it. Everybody's doing it.
Angie doing it.
Yeah, I like it.
It doesn't matter to me either way. But again, thank y'all for dropping by and spending your time with us this morning and making it a little bit brighter for us. We appreciate that.
We appreciate each and every one of you and look forward to seeing you every morning, hearing from you. And we hope you have a blessed and wonderful day.
See you tomorrow morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: